Foxborough Rush on Nesson as well. This week, we caught up with former Patriot Sammy Morris, and we asked him, what do you think of Mike Vrabel as a coach? He's like, oh, actually, I played alongside Mike Vrabel, so I have all kinds of insight for that. He'll let us know if he thinks Vrabes is the key to unlocking Drake May. Foxborough Rush can be found on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Check it out. All right, here we go. Hold my banner, and I'm back. Travis Thomas, so happy to be back home where I belong. Here on Hold My Banner, I missed you all, and I got to be honest, I was out on a bachelor party, and I am too old for a bachelor party. So with that, let's bring in some youth, some young blood. The walking, talking, shaking his head, the walking, talking, triple-double himself, Ountae Campbell. Now, Tay, in fairness to myself,
yes,
you have partied with me.
I have.
I can still party with the best of them.
Yes, you can.
However, when you and I have partied, it's been one-offs. Like, we'll go out for a night, we'll go watch a fight or a game.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a weekend. Like, you've got, we've hung out like consecutive nights. But, hey, I mean, this bachelor party I was on, 5-day, 4 nights, drinking, staying up late. I'm not built for it. Tay, I ain't got it no more, dog.
Can't run with the young pups no more, dog.
No, I can't.
That's too funny, Travis. I'm glad that you're back, though.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you're back in one piece, that they didn't run you too ragged and you couldn't show up for work today, because we got a lot to talk about. I mean, a lot's happened since the last time I seen you, but a lot's happened over the weekend since the last time the people have talked to George and I.
Yeah.
So, there's been a lot going on. I've personally been keeping tabs on Unrivaled. I don't know about you. Obviously, you were out having a night out, and so you got to focus on the Celtics. So, Unrivaled was probably taking a little bit of a backseat, but I was paying attention, and I got to see Nafisa Collier. She's been absolutely hooping. I just got to let you know she's been hooping.
Yep.
Stewie scored the first bucket in Unrivaled history, which, of course she would. It's her league, so of course she would.
Of course.
And then Skylar Diggins-Smith. She had a game winner in the first game, Travis. I mean, it was a game winner comes every time, but this was one of those close, tight. If she misses, then the other team was going to get the opportunity to go and win. So shout out to Skylar Diggins for getting that done.
Sure.
Shout out to Unrivaled as a whole. Shout out to everybody who's in the league. It's such a dope league. If you guys get the chance to watch it, it's just electric.
Yeah. I think that's a great point by you. And by the way, think about just the time of the year right now, Ountae.
Yeah.
Super Bowl's about to be over in 5 minutes, it feels like, right?
Right.
And then most of your casual, even basketball fans, that's when they come over. Soon as the football season's over, they'll dial it up on the NBA. Of course, they'll dial it up on college with March Madness. And kudos to you for showing people there are more avenues to watch, especially in the women's game. Yeah. So you're right. I mean, right now, it's a great time to be a basketball fan.
Perfect time.
No doubt about it. All right, so we'll bring Tay back in a couple minutes. And you heard him set me up perfectly there, because he's like, we haven't seen you since the last time we saw you, which was the Raptors game, which actually we incorrectly predicted on the show that the Celtics would win that game. We know the Raptors are one of the worst in the league. Now, George and Ountae broke that game down while I was out, so I certainly won't bore you. But that wasn't very Celtics-like to lose that game. I would say, though, over the weekend, I think they sort of returned to form, if you will. First of all, they out-muscled the Magic over this past weekend. That's not easy. The Magic, you can't just gloss over that. The Magic are one of the more physical teams in the Eastern Conference. One of the more physical teams in the league. And in that game in particular, the Celtics, quite frankly, they bodied them. They were more physical than the Magic. That's not an easy task. Then you lose to the Hawks. Okay, I get it. I would argue in that. Here's the Hawks talking Shaq on their tweets. 2 wins and 2 trips here this season. That's no anomaly. Bro, you're the Hawks, okay? Relax. Credit to the Hawks. Playoff team as of now. We get it. But at the same time, I'll give them credit. They hit shots down the stretch. Trae Young, who you saw in the tweet there, had a monster game. That's what he does in big games. So, I wasn't shocked in the Hawks' loss. I was more impressed with the Hawks. Like, okay, you got that. You earned that. But then, boy, did this Celtics team return back to what we expect them to look like. Did they not? They beat the historical snot out of the Golden State Warriors. I mean, the Warriors tweeted final. They didn't even – there was no trash talk on this like it was the Hawks, was it? Final. We're done. I mean, historical. They beat the historical snot out of the Warriors. Now, I get it. Travis, Draymond Green didn't play. Trav, the Warriors have a lot of injuries right now. Nonsense. I don't give a damn. Draymond could have played. Everyone could have been 100% healthy, and they would have got beat the hell down. Okay? That's how that goes. So that's why I say the Celtics really got their footing back under them. Everything's just fine. No one's panicked. No one's worried about this team. It's all good. Bad loss to the Raptors since the last time I saw you. Acknowledge. But they got right back on the horse. They're just fine. Okay, now, I don't want to gloss over this Warriors stuff. I will come back to them in a minute because I'm looking at the numbers. This was the worst home loss in 40, like E40, 40 years for the Warriors. Wow. So I'll come back to them because tonight the C's stay on the West and they're in Inglewood taking on the Clippers. I'll give the Clippers credit. We've talked about them in the show. Coming into the season, when we do all the predictions, I said this team wouldn't make the playoffs. They would be a mess. You couldn't trust Kawhi, which I was right. But I was wrong in that this Clippers team, they're a tough team. They're a viable team. So although this Clippers team has surprised me this season and played much better than I thought, and I even have to tip my cap, reluctantly, to James Harden. And there is no bigger hater, okay? I am the president and a client of the James Harden hate club. Can't stand him. Biggest hater there is. I have to tip my cap. I think he's having a really stellar season because, yes, the scoring is the scoring with him, but he's doing a great job running that team. And I even have seen a leader. I've seen some leadership in James Harden. Now that that's over, because that was painful to give him all those props. With that being said, there's levels to this, right? We can all agree on that. I'm not picking against the Celtics, especially off of this beatdown of the Warriors that we'll get into a little more later. I'll go 109-103, Celtics win. In a more defensive, which we've seen the Clippers play, I'll go 109-103 defensive, sort of low and slow type of game. The Celtics, we know, can beat you however you want it. You want to get into a track meet and you're just running up and down, trading threes. That's how they really want to play anyways. No problem. They can beat you there, high scoring. But if you want to get low and slow, they can do that too, and that's what the Clippers do. Tough game on the road against a viable Clippers team. I'll take Celtics 109-103. Defense wins the night. All right, I want to come back to the Warriors here. I mean, the demise of this franchise feels unnecessary to me. It feels unnecessary. Steph Curry, although on the back 9 of his career, the back 9 of his prime, he's still in it. There's so much runway left with this guy. And by the way, let's remember the finals from some years back when the Warriors beat the Celtics. That wasn't the best Warriors team. With the dynasty and all these the Splash Bros in their prime and all that kind of that's not what we saw. Celtics could have won that series. We all remember that. Celtics should have won that series. Why did they lose it? Steph Curry's greatness. Remember? He took over. He willed them to that title. He willed the Warriors to that title. I bring that up because, after this historical beatdown the Celtics just put on him, Steph he sounds tired. He just sounds defeated. He has got to be so frustrated. And yes, he is unequivocally, no arguments, debate's over, he is the greatest shooter of all time. That's done. We could close that chapter and move on. But I think if the Warriors do right by Steph, I think this guy could still be considered the greatest leader ever, which is why I say this franchise must exhaust every option possible to get Steph Curry some damn help. And I don't mean more role players. He's got plenty of those, including Draymond. You need a bona fide star next to him. You're not going to go get 2 or 3 at the deadline. I get it. But you need somebody. And I know, I hear you. Jimmy Butler doesn't really work there. They got to get something. It could be Jimmy Butler. You need someone to help Steph because he does still have championship-level basketball in him. You got to get him to the dance. You got to get him to the stage. Right now, I'm looking at the standings. The Warriors are 11th in the West. They're not even playing. They're not in the play-in right now if it all ended today. And remember last season, they didn't get in the postseason. They were in the play-in. They didn't win it. So this team didn't even make the postseason last season. And it doesn't look as of now, it's currently constructed as if they're going to get there. You must get Steph Curry 1 star. You name the name, and I'll agree with it. But you got to get him someone. I'm not telling you specifically who they need. And we've talked on this show who's good fits, who's not. Go back and watch the past episodes if you care about that. I'm saying get him someone. He needs help because if not, the Warriors are squandering the end of his career, and there may be another championship run in there. I would love, it would be great cinema and great for ratings and great for basketball. If we could get another Warriors-Celtics finals and the Celtics beat them, almost a passing of the torch, that would be fantastic. Who wouldn't love that? But as currently constructed, you ain't even sniffing. You probably won't get to the playoffs, period, but you're damn sure if you do, you're not sniffing the Eastern Conference. You're not going to sniff the Celtics or whoever, if there's an upset. You're not getting to the finals. It ain't happening. So again, the Warriors should, in my opinion, exhaust every option possible to try and squeeze the championship juice out of Steph at the end of his career here. At the same time, after that historic beatdown the Celtics put on the Warriors the other night, I heard from a broken, exhausted Steph Curry.
Process a loss like this?
I have no idea. It's just a tough one from the end of the first quarter through the rest of the game. Thought we came out with pretty good life and energy. Big part of our season has been when we can't score, we lose spirit, we lose life, we lose competitiveness. You can get away with it against some teams, against the defending champs. It's not a good formula for success.
How does this team stay afloat the next week or week plus without Draymond and Kuminga?
Next man up mentality. Everybody who steps foot on the floor got to be able to perform. Bring a spirit of you belong and do it together as a unit. Didn't happen tonight. We obviously had nothing really to show for 36 minutes tonight, and it's going to get tougher, like you said, without 2 starters one who's incredible at getting into the basket, getting us some good possessions. Draymond, what he does on the defensive end, but you got to believe that you have enough to win any given night. You have to believe that we're a team that can find a way to execute on both ends of the floor. It's a mentality thing before it's a physical thing, I think.
Steph's won and lost plenty of games in his career. I've heard him at the end of losses, and he is the most optimistic, upbeat, we'll get him tomorrow kind of guy. I don't have much experience with that, Steph. I mean, that dude, you heard him. You just can't win like that. I'm not really sure what we're going to do. That's not how he talks. That body language, that tone, he didn't look up once. Have you seen mopey Steph Curry? I haven't. Not consistently. You're getting this more often because he knows we're not even close, folks. We're not there. And all of us, as we get older, how'd I start the show? Man, I was an absolute beast at bachelor parties 10, 15 years ago. This bachelor party I just got back from kicked my arse. As you get older, things change. There's more urgency. Got to do it now. I don't have a long runway. I think Steph now, at this point now, he's not the type. He's not Jimmy Butler. He's not the type that's going to go and complain and moan to management. There could be behind the door conversations maybe. He's going to keep that in-house. But he's not going to publicly go out at that press conference and say, we got to get some help. But in a very leadership way, that's what he's saying. And look, I think the Warriors owe it to Steph Curry to get him something at this trade deadline. All right, want to hear all about Boston sports? Check out Nesson's daily sports podcast. Boston has entered the chat. You can enter the conversation by tweeting at us using the hashtag NessonChat. You can also email thechat@nesson.com. Boston has entered the chat is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, let's bring him back. My main man, walking, talking, triple-double, Ountae Campbell, who always takes copious notes during my rant. I have to imagine, after watching that game and watching the Celtics literally, historically, beat down the Warriors the way they did, and then hearing that sound from Steph, you have to agree with me that, they got to get bro some help. I don't have the answers. I don't know who you get.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think Jimmy's the best fit.
Yeah.
But if they go out and get Jimmy, damn it, man, good. Do something to help this guy. You have to agree with me, right, Tay?
I do agree, and I'll get back to that in a second. I got to talk about what you talked about with the Celtics. Now, you were gone. I was here in Boston. Mm-hmm. Celtics fans were letting the Celtics have it for that Hawks loss.
I'm sure.
They were upset. I mean, the Hawks were trolling. They were saying it's not an anomaly because that's what the Celtics fans have donned JT's nickname to be, the anomaly.
What's that even mean?
I mean, it means he's the anomaly. You know what I'm saying?
It's literal.
101. You know what I mean? He's special. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means.
It's not a good nickname. But that's not a good nickname.
I need to talk to Celtics fans really quickly before I move on from this game.
Okay.
Stop blaming Jaylen Brown for that Celtics loss. I mean, did you guys watch the game? I think you guys look at the last play and say, oh, he got blocked and then he threw up that BS and then almost got a turnover trying to throw the ball to Keita.
Right.
And you say, oh, JB, you lost us a game. You always do this. He was the reason that they were even in the game in the first place. The whole entire first quarter was all JB.
Right.
The fourth quarter, he was hitting shots, playing defense. I mean, did he play a perfect game? No. But he played a great game and made one mistake at the end. When realistically, Drew Holiday made the mistake that lost him the game. You know what I'm saying? So, and Tatum missed free throws that he should have made. Everybody played a part. Peyton Pritchard was getting picked apart on defense. Everybody played a part. The team just lost. It is what it is.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. Now, you said that you are the biggest James Harden hater on the planet.
You know I am.
And I have to disagree with you.
What?
GB,
really?
George Balecki is the biggest James Harden hater on the planet.
Okay.
He doesn't even his name isn't even James to George.
Yeah.
It's Jimmy. He calls him Jimmy Harden.
Jimmy?
He haven't even earned his first name.
Yeah, that's deep.
So I got to rock with that. And now.
That's deep.
We need to talk about the demise of the Warriors. Now, I'm going to get into how bad I think this Warriors team is and how I've been saying for years and years and years that they should have leaned into the young guys and should have done things that they could have to prepare for this situation. Jordan Poole just went out there and reporters were asking him how he felt about his Warriors teammates. And he said, I like most of those guys over there on the Warriors. And Draymond went to Twitter and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did this. And you should be sorry, Draymond, because you did ruin the Warriors' legacy run, because if Jordan Poole was still here, they would be a playoff team. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's over there losing, and you're over there losing on different coasts. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What I see is this team is done for this year. It's over. There's no Giannis coming in
no
before
deadline.
the trade deadline.
No deadline.
There's no Jimmy Butler. I've already told you. Nobody wants to help the Warriors.
Okay.
Now, where I'm going to go all windhorse on you right here, right here is, there is a guy out in L.A. who's saying that his team can only win if they play perfect. And
Don't you do this.
He's complaining.
You're not doing
this. And he's
this.
getting ready to sell off into the sunset.
You're not doing
And he
this.
has a player option for $52 million. And he's already a $1 billion Nike athlete, and he's made a ton of money through TV and ads.
This is what we're doing.
And winning championships. And he loves to talk with his mouth covered, just like this. LeBron Ramon James might be the answer in this offseason. Now, if he is not the answer, there's another windhorse moment coming from you with Celtics fans getting mad.
What are you doing?
At one of their guys, often, especially number 7. And we know this sale is coming up, and they're going to have to start getting off of these contracts.
You're doing Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown
Oh, Jesus.
or KP may be the answer. In the offseason, not during the season. They're going to ride it out and see what happens. But in order to appease that next owner, Wick Grossbeck knows that this cap hit that they're taking can't be a thing when they're going into a sale. It just can't. No one wants to pay these luxury taxes as an owner. They don't want to. One of those two guys, whether it be 7 or 8, Kristaps Porzingis or Jaylen Brown, cookies and cream, is getting broken apart.
All right.
And Mr. Cal basketball, he's not adverse to playing in the Bay. He's already played there before.
Can I go? You've given me enough. I almost walked out on you, bro. Like I almost went back to the bachelor party.
Why?
This is ridiculous. Now, both things are a little far-fetched.
Are they?
Well, one of them's just not going to happen. I'm taking Jaylen Brown out of the equation.
No,
Stop.
I think JV's going to be here. I think he's going to be here.
I'm taking him out.
Okay.
I won't even entertain that. What I will do,
okay,
it's going to sound a little slanderous, but stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first, let me agree with you of the Warriors sort of fumbled everything from the jump.
Okay.
Because I don't think you should have re-signed Klay or Dre.
Mm-hmm.
I think Draymond should have walked too. I think you should have got rid of both of them. And to your point, if you had sort of prepared for the future a little better,
yes,
then you would have a young nucleus with Steph, and then you could bring in a star via free agency, trade, whatever, and then you're there.
Yes.
You're ready.
Yes.
Right now, they do have young players around Steph, but I don't think they have anyone who can sort of rise to – they got a bunch of young role players is what they have, okay? And now you still have Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a little they sort of fumbled how to do this. It feels mix and matchy to me.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before you move on, because I want to say something about that.
Yeah.
Draymond's the energy. He's the engine. I mean, you watch that game. I've been watching a couple of Warrior games before that since he's been out. He makes them go.
Yeah.
Now, should they have given him more the money, the contract that they gave him? No, because Klay was upset that they weren't willing to pay him, but they played Draymond. And I do think that Klay was a bigger orifice for this team than Draymond is. But as far as it goes, the energy that Draymond brings is irreplaceable for this Warriors team. But go ahead.
I guess it's bigger. I guess where I'm going here is rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And it's Steph's era.
It should have been Steph's team.
Yes.
Let them go.
Yes.
Let them walk into the sunset.
Yes.
Play Kuminga. Play Moody.
Yes.
See what you had. And then we could have, had a more pleasant situation.
And then add to that as necessary. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
But here's where I don't think it is far-fetched, but I don't think you're nuts. I think you could combine two of your theories here. So LeBron has gone on record forever saying, I would love to be on Steph's team.
So you think Steph's going to LA?
I love Steph. Oh, if we can get Steph. So I don't hate the idea of Bron opting out and ring chasing at the end with Steph and Golden State.
Okay.
LeBron has always talked about it like, come to me. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So I could see if Bron wants to, you know what? I got a shot at a ring. I'm going to go with Steph. The issue I have is LeBron at this stage of his career is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could work it out to where Bron opts out and goes to Golden State and you sign a Kristaps Porzingis alongside –
well, it had to be a trade.
Or I'm sorry, trade for Kristaps Porzingis alongside signing a LeBron James. Now maybe you got something out in the West, and we know we know the story with Porzingis. You got to keep him healthy. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
LeBron at this advanced age, he's not the same player. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
But at least in this theory that we can roll with together, I'll roll with you on this theory. Mm-hmm. If you were to get a LeBron and a Porzingis, you are telling Steph, we are trying.
Yeah.
We're here. We're major players to try and get this done. But as far as the other stuff and Jaylen Brown and all that, I don't see it. I could see LeBron, though, but I still think you need LeBron and someone else. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I want to go on record and say that I'm not saying that I don't think JB work. I'm not saying that.
Right.
What I am saying is that Kristaps and JB are the guys that make the most sense.
Yes, to
contractually,
offset. Absolutely,
to offset.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
And that maybe JB is tired of hearing from the fans and not being appreciated. I mean, I had people texting me telling me they want him off the team immediately.
No, that's crazy.
After the Hawks loss, I mean, he has been giving to the Celtics everything that he can, and every single time, just like JT, they tell him, "Oh, you're not good enough. You're not good enough." Every time he loses, you're not good enough.
That's BS. That's BS.
Right?
All those people saying that.
So
crazy.
maybe, just maybe, he's tired of it. Maybe he feels appreciated. Yeah. I mean, he was after the game. Everyone was making fun of Steve Kerr because he was trying to get in and talk to Tatum and JB or whatever, and he was looking awkward. And Tatum and JB were covering their mouth like this, talking to Steph after the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that. Hey, that means oh my God, JB wants to be a Warrior. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that maybe he's not opposed to the idea. And if ownership says, hey, man, we appreciate what you've done, but we're going to do right by you. We're going to put you over there with Steph. Maybe he doesn't say, I hate that idea.
I think, listen, he should be opposed to it. You know why? I can't even believe I'm having this conversation because I don't think this isn't happening.
I like KP too because KP does make sense.
Yes.
He has 1 year left on this deal.
Yes.
Next season will be his last year on this deal.
Yep.
Yeah, possibly could work with LeBron, could work with a Steph. You know what I'm saying?
I think that makes sense. But to just entertain the JB for 10 seconds.
Right.
Because that's all I'm giving this. I would, if I were him, and this scenario you're dreaming, what was the Windhorse thing you did? You walk into the office and you start doing all that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
If I'm JB, I would oppose it.
Okay.
I don't want to go somewhere where I am considered second fiddle yet again.
It's Steph, though. It's Steph.
So?
It's Steph.
I don't care.
Greatest point guard of all time.
I don't give a damn. If I'm JB, I'm tired of sharing the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
If I'm entertaining leaving this, what should be Celtic dynasty, send me somewhere where I can, what do all these guys want? I can be the man. That is what I could potentially see down the road.
Yeah.
Down the road. But for this Warriors thing and this Steph thing, I don't hate your idea. I could see LeBron, and then I think a Porzingis or a player adjacent, someone of that tier, sort of second tier of star in the NBA. I think that, honestly, I think that could work. And even if it doesn't, you're just showing Steph, bro, we're trying to get one more.
Right.
You won't. I'll tell you what you won't have, Ountae.
What?
If you were to do that, you won't have press conferences like the clip we just played, where my man Steph, brother, you gonna start smoking Newports? I mean, Steph is going through it.
He's going
when
through
he leaves the arena at night after these games, he is playing R&B. You know he's playing that playlist. Oh, it's sad as hell, brother. Want the latest on the Patriots and the NFL? We'll tell you what Mike Vrabel and the Pats should do with the 4th pick in the NFL draft on Nesson's football podcast, Foxborough Rush. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, you know if Ountae Campbell's here, it's a party. We're playing some sort of game.
You know what we're playing,
What do you
Travis.
got for me this time, brother?
We got win in 7.
All right, I like this one.
Yeah, this is where you get the opportunity to guess a player. I love that you love this one, now, by the way, because it grew on you.
It did. And you know why I like it, right? Because I do better at this one.
You've been doing well.
It's the only one I'm good at.
So you get to guess the NBA player that I'm thinking of. You get 7 questions. After the 7th question, you get a silhouette and then a final guess. I'm going to tell you right now, silhouette's kind of tough. Can't lie to
really?
you. Yeah.
I've had a run of silhouettes that have helped me out. So those of you wondering what we're talking about, at the end, if you're just joining us and catching Win for 7 for the first time, at the end, Ountae will unveil a silhouette of a player. And a lot of times in the history of doing this on the show, it could be hair. It could be a certain build. Just a silhouette gives me a little bit of a hint.
Uneven shoulders.
Yeah. Oh, who was that? Paul George?
Yeah.
Paul George had the uneven. He had one of these numbers. He had that shoulder lean.
Right.
So that helped me out. But so Ountae's saying this time around, this is just a regular silhouette, like a locked player on a video game.
Yep. 100%.
All right. So I get 7 questions.
7 questions.
We're ready now?
We are ready.
All right. Are we talking current or past player?
This is a former NBA player.
Okay.
Which we haven't had in a while.
We haven't had a former in a minute.
Yeah.
These are actually harder because the pool is so much bigger.
The pool is bigger, but I always keep it topical.
Okay. Did this player spend their career in the West or the East or both? And if so, both, then tell me longer where.
Yeah. I'll give you that full answer. So that's question number 2.
Yeah.
He definitely played in both. He is for sure, like no doubt, when you think of this player, Eastern Conference player.
Okay, so I'll think East. Okay, let me write this. Okay, former Eastern Conference player. Okay. Now with former, I don't ask this a lot with current. Because the only current guys, they're legendary right now if they have championships. But with former, you always have to ask, is this player a champion multiple time or no?
Yes, this is a multiple time champion.
Okay, this is a multiple champ.
That was question number 3.
Former player, Eastern Conference. I take notes. I talk this out as we go. So former player, Eastern, and a multiple time champ. This is interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Is this player you can never give it away with obviously the position, but you have given me grace in this game. Is this a backcourt, front court, or positionless player?
Yeah, I won't tell you the exact position, but this is definitely a wing. This is definitely a wing.
Okay.
That was question number 4.
Okay. So this is a wing guy.
Yep.
All right.
So I would say front court.
Front court. Okay. Give me. I always ask for career numbers, especially now with this being a former player.
Yeah.
I got to know what did he finish with? What's his career numbers?
His career numbers.
Yeah.
16 points per game.
Okay.
6 rebounds a game. And,
all right.
And 5 dimes.
Oh, he was complete.
That was question number 5.
Okay, so 16, 6, and 5, basically, right?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, this is a damn good player. And I bet you that the points average, maybe all the averages went down a bit as they got older.
For sure.
As it always does.
Yep.
What question am I at?
That was question number 5. You have 2 more, and then you'll get the silhouette.
Okay, I'm at 5. Okay,
yep.
I have 2 more. Okay. Did this listen, Eastern Conference, we're obviously a Celtics show. I mean, is this like a rival? Like, did this player terrorize the Celtics? Is there a history there of this player being a problem, a thorn in the Celtics' hind parts?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
Okay. That was a clutch one for me because I think I'm ready to solve. Let me ask I got one more, right?
1 more, and then you'll get the silhouette.
Okay.
Yes. That was question 6.
Okay. Did this player at any point of their career, I think I'm hot on the trail here.
Yes.
Did this player at any point of their career play for an all-time great head coach in the East?
Definitely.
Okay.
That was question number 7.
Okay. All right.
All right, can we show him the silhouette?
Okay. Yeah, let me see that silhouette here. Yeah, it does not help whatsoever.
I told you.
Not a damn.
That's tough.
Okay,
especially for a former player, like who's still rocking that.
Former player, Eastern Conference, multiple-time champ.
Mm-hmm.
Wing player, averages 16 points, 6 boards, 5 dimes. So all-around player, played for a great coach.
Yep.
Was a problem for the Celtics. Okay, I don't know why we're talking about him here, but I'm gonna guess about halfway through this, I was feeling like Chris Bosh was the answer. Okay. I'm gonna go Chris Bosh here.
That's incorrect, Travis.
Okay.
You want one more guess?
No, that's where I was the whole time.
Show him the silhouette.
I was with Bosh. Who is that? I can't even see.
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, Pip?
Yeah.
What? Oh, I would have never guessed that.
Scottie Pippen.
I was thinking Bosh because of the numbers, the multiple-time champ.
Yep.
Thorn in the Celtics. Hind parts. Obviously, we know that rivalry. Played for a great coach. I'm thinking Spoelstra. All right. Pippen.
So the reason that we're talking about Scottie right now is because he was on the PBD podcast, and he said that he would still win 6 rings without Michael Jordan. And now I have to ask you, Travis, is he tripping, bro? Is he tripping?
Listen, I don't want to be mean here.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to be careful with how I word this.
Uh-oh.
But as someone who just got off a party train for a week, I'm going to say Scottie needs to slow down a little bit. And I think there is a history there, so that's why I want to be sensitive. But this is ridiculous. I mean, what are we talking about, Scottie? We saw you without Mike. It wasn't long.
Yep.
But we saw you without Mike. And credit to you. I mean, you, in my opinion, like, peak Scottie was kind of without Mike, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought Scottie came in his own. He was fantastic. There's an iconic shot of him holding up the Jordans, and he's pointing to it like, come back, MJ, and all that. He was fantastic without Mike.
Yeah.
But you didn't win anything. So your numbers were great. Maybe, sure, you could have been an MVP a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and maybe your legacy could have changed and you wouldn't have been as attached to Mike.
Yeah.
And maybe you win 1 title. But you ain't winning no damn 6 titles. You know damn well this is BS, Ountae. You know it is.
He also went on the same
Lord.
podcast.
It kept going.
Yes. That he would put himself ahead of LeBron James in the all-time conversation. He says that he has 6 rings. And they asked him, they said, what do you think the average owner would pick, you or LeBron as their first choice? Like, who do you think they will pick? And he says, I don't know. Do you want individual accolades or do you want championships? Because I didn't chase mines. That was his words, verbatim. So
wait, say that quote?
He said, I don't know what you want. Do you want individual accolades or championships? Because I didn't chase mines.
Meaning he didn't chase his individual.
He didn't chase his championships. That's what he's saying. He's saying
like hop around to different.
Yeah,
he did play for multiple teams,
but he said he didn't. That wasn't
his
choice. Yeah, right. It wasn't his choice.
These old. Listen, man. I know I'm an OG.
He says LeBron was ring chasing.
Scottie's way older than I am, and these dudes. They just these old heads with this. Well, I didn't ring chase. Well, why the hell not? Because I mean, damn, like it just drives me. There are certain things, Ountae, of like OGs that I don't like. I don't like this narrative of like, oh, I never had to join a super team. Shut up. I don't like that, and I don't like, well, nowadays everything's mumble rap. Shut up. Like, it's wrong. If you got a chance to go be on a winning team that can win a title and they're going to pay you, why wouldn't you join that team?
Right.
I mean, what are you, an idiot? I don't care what era you played in. Are you dumb or not? And then the second part, the rap part. Oh, everything's mumble. No, it's not. There's great artists. You got to find them. I mean, what is this? Like, you used to go in the CD store and pick out a CD. Now it's easier. You could stream it, but everyone's mumble rap, right? No, you're an idiot. And this is one of those examples. Like, Scottie, it's not just Scottie. It's a bigger thing. Like, these old players drive me nuts with this. And as an OG myself, there are certain things you got to use your brain, bruh. Like, of course you would go sign with a super team if you could make the kind of money you wanted to make.
Yeah.
Because that was a key, right? Back then, that wasn't happening.
Right.
Now everybody gets paid. So you mean to tell me I can go join a team with other stars and get paid and win titles? Yeah, I'm going to do that, bro. Like, it drives me nuts, Ountae, as you can see.
Yeah, clearly. Clearly.
I guess I am. I thought it would take me a while to.
You were like, I'm going to be nice.
Yeah,
and he just goes off on a rant.
I also thought it would take me a while to get back in the form of things here. And no, I'm in midseason form.
Yes, you
Will
are.
the Bruins find their way back to the Stanley Cup? We check in with some of the NHL's greatest to help us find the answer on Nesson's Hockey Hub podcast. Hear from current and former Bruins Weekly, as well as the latest going on in the hockey world. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. All right, Tay, the NBA All-Star Game is nearly upon us.
It is.
I see they're going to announce the starters. I see that some of the names that I've never heard of are coming into the dunk contest, just like every year at this time. We got a lot going on around the All-Star Game.
Yeah, we do, and this is a peek back to our list that we created together last week. It's got Luka Doncic, KD, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jokic, Victor Wembanyama for the West, and then for the East, we had Giannis, Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, and Karl Anthony Towns. Now, Travis,
Yes.
I want to ask you this, though.
All right.
Who do you think will get into the All-Star game as a starter? And then we'll talk about who we think should get in. But who do you think will?
Well, I did. By the way, I thought we did a really good job there. And I thought, too, we were extremely diplomatic with one another, right? Like, we built that together, but we had some disagreements.
100%.
You know, I deferred when I needed to. You deferred. So I thought we did a good job building that. And we could be right with what we did there.
We could.
As far as, you know, who I think's going to make it, this is what I pitched to you when we built our team together. But I'm still there in the East for guards. I have LaMelo Ball, Donovan Mitchell. Forwards, Giannis, Tatum. Center, Cat.
Yeah.
I still feel the same way. Out on the West Side, I got Steph and SGA as the guards.
Yep.
You know, forwards, I have Durant and Wemby, which I know Wemby as a forward seems weird, but what do you want me to do? Because at center, you know I got the Joker.
Yep.
I'm good with that. I feel like I think that's the best representation of the All-Star game. But we know all this stuff's votes.
Right.
But I actually think that would be right. Of course, the one that I think is right would be right.
Of course. No, yeah, I think you're right there. I think that, personally, I think that LeBron's getting in.
Yeah.
One, he had the fan vote. He was second for the front court for the West, right behind Jokic.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's LeBron James. I mean, the media members are going to vote him in. The NBA players are going to vote him in. I just think that he's getting in. Where I think we need to talk about and have a conversation because, LaMelo probably will get in. I think fan vote really does help. He was number one going into the last fan return. He was the number one guard in the East. Yeah. So I think that he will get in because I think fan vote does carry you a lot, obviously, with them having 50% of the vote going in.
Yeah.
But, LeBron is the one where it's like, okay, me and you think that he probably shouldn't be in because I agree. I think Wemby should get in. I do too. I think KD should get in. I think Jokic should get in. But he probably will get in as he was the second in the votes. Do you think that's who's going to come off? That's really my question. Who's coming off?
Wemby's very popular.
Jokic. So it's KD or Wemby. So
Wemby's
which one
very
of those two dudes are going to come off?
I don't know because Wemby's very popular as well.
Right. And he's about to play in France. Not that matters. The vote will be done by then, but he's about to, show off in front of the French this week. So, maybe that means a little something.
I mean, it should. I think this too, and I think you and I would likely agree here. You let me know.
Yes.
Wemby's time's coming.
Yes, it's coming.
This guy's going to be the starter every year for the rest of his life.
Right.
So, in the event here, we all know LeBron's, even though I don't know, it doesn't sound like you or I think this is his last year, but we know he's close. Yeah. I could see Wemby getting the short end of the stick. Yeah, but he shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
But he shouldn't.
And it's tough for me. I think KD's going to end up getting the short end of the stick.
That's tough too because if you're going to have LeBron, you should have KD. You know what I mean?
And I'm with you, but I'm also looking at MVP ladder, the most recent MVP ladder, right? And like everybody that we've named so far is a top 5 guy. You know what I mean?
Not him.
He's the only top 5 MVP ladder guy that would be left out of the starters if he gets left out, right?
Yeah.
It would be SGA, Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Karl Anthony Towns, and then Wemby is 5th. And then 6 is Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and then Alpe, which I think Alpe should get a nod. He won't get the starting nod because he's not as popular, Alperen Şengün. But he'll get an all-star bid because the Houston Rockets are doing very well.
Yeah, they are.
And then Cade Cunningham, and then Anthony Davis is 10. So I don't think as a top 5 MVP guy,
right,
Wemby should get left off.
I agree.
So I think if the league, if the writers, if media is already telling us that he's the 5th best player in the league,
sure,
right? He's not getting left off. I think it's going to end up being Kevin Durant.
Also, too, you know what's funny about this a little bit?
What?
Just kind of thinking out loud here, Tay.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
Okay.
If LeBron's not a starter, he'll feel a type of way.
Yeah.
If Wemby's not a starter, he'll
Yeah.
feel a type of way. He'll use that as fuel. For,
Right.
I don't think Kevin Durant gives a rat's patootie.
Nah, yeah, he don't care.
You could not have
Yeah.
him as the starter, and he will not care.
Yeah.
Ountae, this is the same guy we all watched
Yeah.
in a club
Right.
with his friends
Yeah.
in the corner, isolated, shooting jumpers. I mean, futures playing, drinks are flowing.
Man.
There's talent everywhere.
Yep.
And you're in the corner by yourself.
Yeah.
Not talking to someone,
Yeah. I think you're right.
He don't give a damn.
He don't care. And, I think Steph's going to get in because Luka has been hurt, and he's probably not even going to play in the All-Star game. So even if he does get named the starter,
Yes.
Steph's probably going to move into that slot.
I think Steph and
anyways.
SGA are the plays.
Yeah,
Don't
but
you?
I think Steph's name is going to get called when it happens anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, I just think you're right. If KD that gets left off, it's like, oh, whatever. But
He
if
won't
Steph
care.
is on and Bron's not, hey, the league's got hell to play.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
man.
No, I think you're right. But obviously, we'll break it all down here on Hold My Banner. Before we move on to our League Pass game to watch, I just want to tell you, just for the record here, I think the dunk contest should go away forever. Because who are these people?
Yeah, let's
Every
talk about it really quickly
Every year.
because we got Stephon Castle who got from the Spurs,
Who I like.
who's who's a rookie this year, who's gonna be a participant in the dunk contest.
Love him.
And then we got Matis Buzelis from the Bulls, who's also a rookie who used to play for the G League Ignite, who's also gonna be in a dunk contest. Yeah, I'm with Travis. This event shouldn't be a rookie event. It shouldn't be just the youngest guys in the league event. I think they got to do something to incentivize these real dunkers. I mean, I need John Morant.
It's not going to happen.
I need Zion Williamson. Like, please. I need Anthony Edwards.
It's not gonna happen.
Please.
It's not going to happen.
If those 3 alone
Yeah, well,
played in this dunk contest,
agree.
it would be box office.
bro, how many generations are we going to say this?
Yes.
We did this for LeBron's
We
whole
did.
career.
He ruined it.
He
It was
ruined
his
it.
fault.
It's his fault.
It's his fault.
And it ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Not only is it his fault, it's never coming back. It's over.
Yeah.
So listen, just end it.
Yeah.
Just end it. I would rather see Ountae Campbell out there dunking because I know he's still got it.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, give me your League Pass game to watch, my friend.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to give you guys a good game. I'm going to give you Kings at Nuggets on Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
So
Kings at
before
Nuggets.
you get Celtics Lakers, which everybody will be tuning in at 10
course.
p.m.
Of
Eastern,
course.
of course, especially us.
Of course.
At 9 p.m. Eastern, you will get this matchup, and it's going to give you some old school hoops. Everybody's been complaining about, there's too many threes. So I'm going to show you 2 teams that don't jack up the 3 the entire time and tell me how much you really like basketball. You're going to get Sabonis versus Jokic action.
I love that.
European, back to the basket.
Yeah. Yeah, facts.
Magic dimes
Facts.
all night. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I love
need to
that.
watch that. You should too.
I like that. Sabonis against Jokic. We know who the better player is, but
Yes.
Sabonis is having a tremendous season.
And the Kings are 9-1 in their last 10 games.
I
Who would've
told you.
thought?
Listen, I can't take a victory lap here because you remember how high I was on them
Yes.
in the offseason.
But you can't take it because they fired their coach.
I know, but they pooped the bed all year. They get rid of the coach, and now they're getting it together. I still think that they're going to be a tough outcome playoff time.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like I can take a victory lap with them like I can for the Magic and some of these other teams.
Right.
Because I didn't see all this drama that happened with them happening. But kudos to them for figuring it out. And I like your matchup. Jokic against Sabonis is must-see TV.
Yes.
I'm going to go Cavs at Rockets here.
Okay.
And I'm sure you know why, right?
Yes.
I'm Mr. Rocket. I love this team. Much like I just talked about the Kings being a tough out, I think the Rockets are going to be a tough out as well. I'm not buying their super high seed in the West. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting a bunch of stock in that. I think this is a team still on the ascension that will learn from this playoff experience they're about to get. I do not believe they'll lose in the first round, although I'll wait to see matchups.
Yeah.
I'll wait to see matchups.
Yeah.
I think they win. You went off on me because I said I thought the Thunder had a really good postseason run last year. And you're like, why? They got bounced in the second round. I'm like, because they were the youngest number 1 seed ever, and they didn't get bounced immediately. That helped.
I just said it wasn't a deep run.
I'm just saying, they could take from that and learn from it.
Yes.
I think and we're seeing that implemented this year, by the way, with the Thunder.
100%.
I think the Rockets will be that version of this.
Okay.
I think they'll win a playoff series, depending on matchups, and then they'll lose. And then next season, it's on, and I'll be all over them. So, obviously, that's how high I am on the Rockets, and they're at home.
Yes.
I don't need to sit here and say anything about the Cavaliers that you don't already know.
Yes.
We all know. This team is bona fide. They are legit. I think they are a real contender, not pretender, a real contender to the Celtics in a 7-game series. I don't think they can win it, but I think they can push them. I think it could go 7. If you get to 7, you could have problems.
Yeah.
I think Cavs and Rockets, I'm sure a Rocket fan may feel like this could be the NBA Finals preview. I'm sure a Cav fan feels like this could be an NBA Finals preview. Let me just tell both fan bases, no. Let's let that breathe, Ountae. No. Okay? It ain't happening. What's the win horse? It ain't happening. But I am intrigued by it, and I will be watching it. And did I follow the rules? Is this not a League Pass game?
This is a League Pass game. Surprisingly. I'm shocked that this is a League Pass game. I mean, it's going to be probably one of the better games tonight. So I'm shocked. But, yes, you finally followed the rules. Again, back-to-back episodes for you, by the way.
You know what they call that? And we'll end the show here. You know what they call that? Hashtag growth. Look at me. I mean, I'm following rules. It's unbelievable. All right, look, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be with you, Ountae.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back next show even better. I mean, all I need, I haven't had a night's sleep in a week. It's fantastic.
Old man.
I'm going to come, old man River. I'm going to come back even more refreshed. I appreciate you, Tay, and I appreciate all of you for rolling with us here on Hold My Banner. Till next time, a well-rested Travis Thomas asks you to hold the banner again. We'll see you then. Peace.
Deuces.